last episode of the Dream Life Diaries, we talked about the warning signs that would clue you into the fact that you were pursuing somebody else's dream life and that you needed to change something, make a change in order to actually start pursuing your dream life. Today, I am going to be sharing with you how you can actually start making those changes, taking action, and living your dream life today. So, stay tuned. You are listening to the Dream Life Diaries podcast with host Ellison Noose, the space where you can discover and build your dream life one step at a time. If you are ready to embody the life of your dreams and start taking action and making changes, then subscribe and follow to go on a life-altering, effective journey towards success, fulfillment, and authentic life design. So when we left off in the last episode, we were basically at ground zero again. It doesn't matter what you've done or how far you have journeyed in one direction. If you related to the last episode of the Dream Life Diaries, then you are sort of in this place where it's like, okay, so like all of that felt like it was for nothing. All of that felt like there was no point. All of that felt like a waste of time. Where do I go from here? I don't know what I actually want to do. I know that what I've been doing is not what I want, but how do I actually change? What do I actually want? And how do you move on from here? How do you actually go from just doing the grind, living the status quo, doing what you're expected to do, just trying to make money, just trying to do this, just trying to live, just trying to build something that everybody else says you want? How do you go from that to every day I get up and I do something that I love, that I'm passionate about, and that really matters to me, and that I feel fulfilled by, and that I feel satisfied by, and that I feel like I'm really doing something, and I'm making a change, and I'm being effective, and I'm having an impact on the world? How do you go from a blah life to, yep, this is what I need to be doing, this is what I love, and I'm passionate about that? How do you do that? Well, the first step that I took, and that I think everybody needs to take, is that you need to spend some time doing self-discovery and actually looking into yourself. And I'm going to talk about this in the next episode of the podcast, going a little bit deeper into self-discovery. But I think that when we are teenagers, a lot of times self-discovery is presented to us in a manner that is a list of college majors and degrees that you can do, 9-to-5 jobs that you could have, and these different certifications and qualifications and job titles and all these things. It's presented to us as a list. It's presented to us as, here are your options, choose one, here's your plan to get there, which is great, okay? I mean, it's great if you really know what you want to do, and if what you want to do fits in to that box. For me, I really do have a very logical, very black and white mind. I call myself an equally left and right brained person. But I was presented with a list of majors. And, you take the personality quizzes, you do the Myers-Briggs stuff, you do the Enneagram, you do this, you do that. You take all the quizzes, and then they match you up with the degrees and the jobs that you should do, that you, right? Like, oh yeah, you should totally do this. And you feel this pressure to just latch on to something. And it feels so good to pick something that has a known path, an A to B, a cause and effect, a this plus this plus this equals that kind of life. You might not be fulfilled by it, but it feels safe. And so not only are you given this list of options when you are between the ages of 16 and 18, you're given this list, and then you have the voices around you telling you what you should be doing, right? Whether that is your parents, your peers, your teachers, anybody in your life telling you what you should be doing. And not to mention, you are a teenager who is literally just worried about who's going to take me to the prom, or what about that test that I have in English next week, or, right? Like, you are focused on things from high school. You're focused on teenager things. And you have had very few years to actually think about, what do I love? Who am I? Who am I apart from the clique that I'm a part of? Who am I apart from the classes that I'm doing, the school that I go to? Who am I apart from my family, my friends? Who am I apart from all of this? What do I love apart from all of this? Because we just get so wrapped up in, this is what they're doing, so I'm just going to do it too. Even if it's not something that we really want to do. And so if you are at the age of 16 to 18 right now, then I highly encourage you to do some time reflecting, and definitely tune into the next episode where we're going to be talking about this. But you need to really take time to think, what do I want? Right? What do I want? What do I love? What just sets me on fire? Because a lot of us do not think that deeply until we're 45 and in the midst of a midlife crisis. So, take the time. Take some time for yourself to actually think, to actually look at yourself, to actually to journal, to really consider what you feel so called to, different moments that just made you smile, made you happy, fulfilled you. Take time to think about that. Step 2 of making these changes is that you need to create the picture of your dream life. Your dream life, okay? And sure, you can go on to Pinterest, you can go on to Instagram, and you can scroll through the pictures and say, like, oh yeah, like, I want that to be part. Sure. But before you do that, I highly encourage you to just think about it on your own. Because I've talked about this in previous episodes. I believe it was in episode 2 where we were talking about like the mindsets that you can do, the mindset shifts, that you can do in order to stop caring about what people think. In that episode, we talked a lot about this, where you know what you want. And you know what it looks like, right? You've thought about it. You've seen images of it pass through behind your eyes and in your head and in your dreams. You've seen it. You know exactly what it looks like. But a lot of times what we verbally say to ourselves or to other people, or what we write, or the actions that we take are completely opposite of that, because it's not normal. It doesn't fit into a picture that somebody else has created, because it's yours. So I encourage you to take time by yourself. Once again, I feel like this whole episode here, you need to be by yourself. You need to separate yourself from people, from social media, from people around you. You need to just take a step back and just be with yourself and think, okay, so when I imagine my dream life, right off the top of my head, this is what I think. Right? This is what I think. These are the images that are like coming to me. This is what I see. This is what just sets me on fire when I think about my life, when I think about what I want in my life. These are the things that I'm doing, and these are the things that just make me feel like, oh, yes, I am living the dream. So you need to design your picture, and you need to think about that, and you need to settle into that, and you need to write about it, you need to talk about it, you need to talk about it to yourself. And then after you've thought about it, sure, go look for images that sort of capture that. But you need to figure out what those pictures are first. Because when you type into Pinterest dream life, what happens? Like, we got 3 pictures, okay? We have wine on a beach, wine in a bathtub, and coffee on a bed with a book. Okay? Those are all beautiful. But you need to think about what you want. You need to actually think, do I want wine on a beach? Is that all that my dream life consists of? No, your dream life is so personal, and your dream life consists of this pocket of actions and feelings and things that it might result in wine on the beach, but these things that just capture what you feel like in your dream life. You need to figure out what it looks like. What it looks like. What automatically comes to mind. What colors are there? What sounds are there? What textures are there? What feelings are there? You need to design your picture. You need to design your picture. Don't look at somebody else's picture. Design yours. Step 3 to making the active changes, right? So we've gone over the warning signs that said you need to make the change. And then we've done the first 2 steps, which are going to tell us this is what we want. The next step is to actually start taking action to bring that dream life towards you, to make your dream life your reality. So what action steps do you need to take to bring them to life, to bring your dream life into your reality? What action steps are there? So for me, I wanted to be self-owned, right? I want to be self-owned. I want to be a content creator. I want to be a podcaster. I want to be able to spend my time coming up with these topics and talking to you and sharing them with you. And that's what I want. That's what I want my life to be. And my purpose and what sets me on fire is that I want women to feel safe enough to say, this is what I want, and to go after it, to feel safe enough to be themselves, to be their authentic selves, to design their dream life, and to bring it into their reality. That is what my purpose and my passion is. That's what I love. I love making women, girls, I love making them feel safe enough to just be so real and to be so raw and to say, like, you know what? No, this is what I want. This is what I believe. This is what I feel, right? That's my drive. So, for me, the action steps would be, okay, I need to learn how to create content. I need to learn how to be on camera. I need to learn how to work everything with my computer. I need to learn about sound. I need to learn about the backdrop. I need to learn about the platforms that I'm posting things on. I need to learn more about designing your dream life and life design in general and mindset. And I need to learn that stuff, right? That's not going to happen. This dream life isn't going to happen if I'm just sitting on my couch scrolling through Instagram wishing it would happen. The only way it's going to happen is if I take a step and I figure it out. And then I take another step and I figure it out. And the same is true for you. Perhaps you want some kind of really cool job and this really cool career and everything like that. But in order for it to happen, you need certain certifications, you need a certain education, you need certain experiences, you need to design your resume the certain way, right? And sometimes it is the smallest things that you need to do in order to make something work and in order to bring your dream life in. It is the smallest thing. What is it? Name it. What are the action steps? And I'm not saying that you need to make a 5-step plan to get your dream life. Like, that's not what it is. It's not going to work. But what's the next best thing that you can be doing to make this happen? What is one thing you can do right now to make it happen? What is one thing you can do right now to make you feel like your dream version, right? What can you do? What can you do? Because obviously what you've been doing isn't working. Okay? Obviously what you've been doing isn't working. You need to take an action. You need to make a change. So, what is it? And you can spend time writing these things down, right? I've done that before where it's like, okay, this has got to change because this is not the life that I want to be living and I need to make this change, right? And okay, I've identified it. Now I can focus on it and make the change. And I'm not perfect at it. Nobody is. We're humans. But if you identify it, then you're much more likely to start making the change. And you're far more likely to say, you know what? Yeah, like this is what I want and these are the things that I need to change. These are the things that I don't want in my life anymore. So you need to identify these things. You need to take time to really identify this has got to change. These are the actions I can take. It doesn't have to be, oh, I need to move across the country. It doesn't have to be, I need to remove myself from my entire family and never see. It doesn't have to be this massive thing. It can be as simple as, I need to exercise for 15 minutes every day. It could be as simple as, I need to eat at least one vegetable every day. It could be as simple as, I need to be applying to two to three jobs every day. I need to be taking these little classes in the evenings. It could, right? It doesn't have to be massive. Massive is not always necessary. A lot of times it's these little tiny things that just nag at you that you need to do. So, what are those action steps? What are those action steps? Don't try to tackle them all at once, but name them, focus on one or two of them, and just work through it, right? Work through it. Step 4. Now this goes directly back to episode 2, which talked about not caring what people think. The next step is that you need to identify who or what from your past is holding you back from obtaining your dream life. Okay? I realized that there were so many things in my life from my past, and there's even some stuff in my present that it bogs me down, okay? It's heavy, it just holds me down, it just feels like bondage and captivity and like I'm a prisoner. What is holding you back? What are those faces in your mind that are holding you back? That when you think, yep, I'm going to do it, then you picture their face in your mind and you shrink back and you hesitate. You might not see them, you might not talk to them, you might not know where they are in life anymore, but just the thought of them holds you back. Or what is holding you back? Is there a thought that is holding you back? Is there a belief that is holding you back? If you can remove these things from your life, remove them. If you can work with these things in your life, then work with them. I mean, that is precisely what this entire podcast is leaning on for me, because I spent 7 years just stewing in pain and resentment and hurt and right? Just this little bottle, this little like bubble of pain. I just lived with it for 7 years. And I was freed from it and I discovered what I wanted. And that is the basis of this podcast. I'm using some pain from my past. First, though, I had to let go of the resentment that I felt. I had to let go of the pain that I felt that other people had applied to me and given to me and just left me with. I had to release the pain, release the burden, and now I'm working with the burden. I'm utilizing the burden. I'm utilizing the experience. So what do you need to let go of, and what can you use? That is basically what I'm trying to say here. What do you need to remove from your life? Are there people in your life currently that you need to separate yourself from? I know I have people in my life that it's really hard to separate myself from. Coworkers, people, different family members, that it's like, I need to stay away from you, and it's really hard to do. It's really hard for me to stay away from you because you're just a part of my life right now, and I have no option. How can I remove my energy from you? How can I remove my attention from you? How can I just remove myself from the situation mentally? Or are there people from your past that, again, you don't see them anymore. You don't know them, but for some reason, you just can't let them go. They're just stuck in your mind. I had a professor, oh my word, he did a number on me in college, and then for 3 years after, he just kept doing a number on me in my head. I don't know if the dude even works at the college anymore, but he just kept gnawing at me mentally, and I had to let him go. So, who or what is holding you back from your dream life, holding you back from taking action steps, from taking the actions that we talked about in the previous step? Who or what is holding you back from doing that? Because you might know precisely what you need to do. It might be this one task that you're thinking, yep, I need to do that. I need to start that website. I need to fill out that application. It could be one thing, but for some reason, you are hesitating. You're hesitating. What is causing you to hesitate? What's the hesitation about? Name it. It can't just be, I'm scared of people. Who are you scared of? Who's the people? Because in general, sure, you might have stage fright. That's a thing. Stage fright or some kind of just fear, like social anxiety, that is a thing. But I can almost guarantee you that there are a few faces and a few names that come to mind that you're latched onto. Because it's not just people. Who is it? Who is it? Who are they? Who are these people that are holding you back? What is the situation? What is the memory? What is the experience that is holding you back? Now, the last step that I have for you is bringing a taste of your dream life into your current reality. And I talked about this in episode 3, where I talked all about aesthetics and the impact that aesthetics have on you and how they can help you bring your dream life into your reality. So definitely go check that out after this video. But basically the point of that video was that aesthetics really do have power in what you surround yourself with. What your life looks like has a direct link to how you feel. To how you feel about yourself, about your life. So, how can you change what you are surrounded by? How can you change that in order to get a taste of your dream life? For me, I had to paint some walls. I had these yellow walls that, when I kid you not, they made me feel like a 17-year-old girl. I love yellow, but these yellow walls just made me feel like a 17-year-old girl. I went out and I spent $50 on a bucket of paint and I painted the walls. 2 walls. That's all it was. And immediately I felt like, oh, yeah, it's new me. It's a different me. it allowed me to step into a new place. It's allowed me to taste what my dream life feels like. I got stemmed wine glasses. Now I know I said that drinking wine on the beach is not going to bring your dream life to you, but it is the feeling of success, okay? Versus, oh, I'm drinking my wine out of a jar. Why don't I drink it out of this stemmed wine glass? It's like $20 to get a pack of 4 of wine glasses from Amazon. How can you taste it? How can you taste your dream life right now? You first need to identify what your dream life feels like. You need to design your picture. You need to design the picture of your dream life and figure out what it looks like and what it feels like before you can actually get the taste of it in your life today. So you need to identify what your dream life looks like. But once you do that, figuring out how you can pull in the taste of your dream life today. How can you make that happen today? Do you need to go and do you actually need to go and get a new outfit? Do you need to eat differently? Do you need to create a pocket of time that you spend doing something in particular? Do you need to add a specific activity to your daily routine? What do you need to do today to give you a taste of your dream life? Because once you taste your dream life, then you are able to embody your dream life. You're able to feel your dream life. You're able to transport into that place that you want to be. You're able to transport yourself into, oh yeah, this is who I am. These are the actions I take. These are the things that I do. This is the life that I live. So how can you taste your dream life today? How can you do that? Thank you so much for joining me today, and make sure to tune in to the next episode of the Dream Life Diaries, where I will be going into the self-discovery process and how you can really start to discover what you want your dream life to look like and really get to understand what you want, what you are set on fire for, and what really fulfills you and gives your life purpose. So stay tuned for that episode. Thank you so much for joining me today. I love you guys oh so very much. And until next time, so long.